The top 3 reasons to reset to zero? Wait, I gotcha. All right. Welcome to day 524 of Reseller Reflections, a day in the life of a full-time reseller supporting her family. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025. We did not meet our sales goal yesterday, but I'm reset to zero and the shipping is done. Yay. All right. So, I'm going to talk about reset to zero. I'm going to talk about the top 3 reasons that I think it is a game changer. But first of all, I'm going into the reset to zero. I mean, you've heard me say this every day. I think I don't know if I started in the very beginning, but probably for about 500 days. So I know I have a lot of new listeners. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're listening from. And welcome. So I thought I'd go into the reset to zero just a little bit very quickly and kind of describe what it is. So basically, this came from Jill of Rusted Truck Relics. She said it wasn't originally hers, but she's the one who introduced the concept to our group. And pretty much at the end of the day, you reset to zero. Meaning that your workspace is clean. Any extraneous tasks are either put in a to-do list for the next day, moved off your account, whatever, your workspace is cleaned up. The clutter up here is cleaned up and you reset to zero. Generally, it takes 5 or less minutes to do this. Once you get going, it is not a huge commitment. And there are so many reasons, 3 really good ones that you should do this and get in the habit of doing this every day. Now, I do this in my home, and one of the reasons I am also recording this is because I've been slacking a little bit on my house reset to zero. I've been really good for the past 524 days of resetting my workspace to zero. Not so great at the home. I'm slipping a little bit. So this is also a reminder to me the reasons that I am going to reset my home as well as my workspace going forward. All right. Reason number 3 is you're ready for the next day. I mean, think about that for a second. Like, how defeating is it to walk into your workspace in the morning or whenever you go to work and you see clutter, you see a pile, you see a bunch of to-do and sticky notes that you didn't take care of from the previous day. It is like you're starting tomorrow defeated. Who wants that? Who wants to walk into that? Certainly not me. So, you're doing your future self a favor by spending that 5 minutes or less and just resetting your workspace, getting things organized for the next day. All right. So getting ready for the next day is reason 3. Reason 2 is a cleaner overall workspace. That couple minutes that you take is pretty much like cumulative, like, what reset to zero looks like, and it looks different for everybody. Sometimes you might still have a pile. Sometimes, that's not really the point is to get rid of all the clutter. It just depends on how you work. As resellers, we have a lot of things around, but are they in order? Are they? So a cleaner workspace, and who does not work better in a cleaner workspace? I'm sure there's a couple of you out there that maybe don't work better in a clean, but the vast majority of people, clutter is a real distraction. Things on your desk are a real distraction. And I always think about this. I don't know if it's true, if it is not true, but most high-performing executives have a very clean, clutter-free desk, and they are focusing on one thing at a time. So I always think of that like executive's office, nice, clean, shiny, the very organized desk. Yeah. So, it will reduce your clutter. And let's say you're starting with a lot of clutter on your desk. All right, well, just set a timer. Spend 2 minutes every evening just taking a couple of things. It doesn't have to be one big heroic effort. You don't have to start, totally clean. Set a timer for 2 minutes if you can handle 2 minutes of organization. You'll be surprised at how quickly it gets done and how much more efficient you are with a cleaner workspace. I don't like clutter. I don't know if this is even the right career choice for me. I hate clutter so much, but here we are. And the top reason to reset to zero is it gives you an insane sense of accomplishment. Who doesn't want to end the day feeling accomplished, right? There's a small win. Let's say you had a really rough day and you can't think of a single thing that went right or a single thing you did and made progress on. Guess what? This is your win for the day. Resetting to zero is your win. So take it, do it, ride that sense of accomplishment. All that stuff that, was up here, when you reset to zero, you're probably going to sleep better, right? You have a clean workspace, you have your stuff. Maybe it's your to-do list off the sticky notes and, ready for tomorrow. A bunch of clutter that was laying around is cleaned up. You won, you accomplished that. And you'll probably sleep better knowing that you're not waking up to a bunch of things you have to do. And you're just, running from one thing to the next. I think it's going to work. All right. So those are the top 3 reasons I think resetting to zero is great. I will also be resetting to zero our list of participants. So if you are still participating in the reset to zero, sometimes I run the banner across the bottom of the screen, or you would like to join us and be accountable along with me and the other people doing this, just put a comment in the notes here and I will be rebuilding that banner. I will be resetting it to zero. All right. So top reasons. Number 3, you're ready for the next day. Number 2, you will have a cleaner workspace. Number 1, accomplishment. It will be your small win. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on day 525 of Reseller Reflections. Night, night.